Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this lesson was last Thursday, and you did it on your own because there was a sub here. So I'm going to kind of go over it. Okay, these problems are not what you have due today. They are from the notes. Let me get my face in there. So these are from the notes. So again, when I show you a problem, this is not what you do. It's on another slide. In fact, let me go to that slide. Do you see the kind of the blue background? Those are the problems that you have due today. So kind of a rust red background. These are not what you do. This is how you're learning. Okay, so look at this. This is 1.6 scale drawings. Okay, read with me. A scale drawing or model is used to represent an object that is too big or too small to be shown in its actual size. The dimensions of the object on the scale drawing or model are proportional to the dimensions of the actual size. The scale is the ratio of the size of the model to its actual size. So what does that mean? Scale is model size over actual size. In other words, the model's on the top, the actual size is on the bottom. A scale can have the same lengths, like feet over feet, or different, feet over miles or minutes over seconds or whatever. A scale can have the same units or different. You can use a scale to find a missing measure on the model or the actual object. Simply set up and solve the proportion. Okay, so let's scroll down. Here's an example of what they're trying to get you to do. Okay, so let me point out some stuff. Okay, let me get my highlighter. Excuse me. Okay, now do you see where it starts? 2 inches equals 7 feet. Okay, this is what I did. The inches, and there are the feet. Notice the inches were mentioned first, so it goes on the top. Feet's mentioned second, it goes on the bottom. Now over here, do you see the 2 and the 7 or make up my ratio? Okay, so 2 over 7 is my ratio for this problem. So listen carefully. For every 2 inches on paper, 2 inches, that really means 7 foot in real life. 7 feet in real life, that's a little over 2 yards. If the length of the pool on the drawing is 10 inches, let me move that. Okay, 10 inches. Now think about it. 10 what's? 10 inches. So do you see I put on the top? Because only on the top can you put inches. So 2 inches, 10 inches, 7 feet, and this is what we're looking for. It says, what is the actual length of the pool? So how long really is the pool outside? So that's what we're looking for. Okay, so what I do is I cross multiply. You see 2 times F and 7 times 10, and then divide away the 2, and you get 35. And of course, that means feet because again, F was on the bottom. So don't forget that. Okay, here's one more. You see the equal sign? That is 1.5 inches on the top, all inches on the top, and 2 feet, 2 on the bottom, feet on the bottom. So let's keep reading. If the living room is 18 feet, okay, do you see feet? So that's why it went on the bottom because I know all feet goes on the bottom. Okay, I put the I, so I know when I finish that this answer is in inches. Excuse me. So cross multiply, I got 27, 2 times I, and then divide away that 2, and that's my answer. But what does it mean? 13.5 what's? Inches because it was on the top. Okay, now let's go do a couple of yours because there are some snags or some curveballs or some little things that you might not realize. Okay, now this is where you want to start writing on your lined paper because these are problems that you actually have to do. Okay, let me point this out. Okay, do you see this? This tells me 2 things. It tells me my key. Okay, my key is centimeters to kilometers. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here because centimeters to kilometers. That actually goes for all of these. All 3 of these are the same key. And down here, all three of these will be for that key. So I don't need to write it 3 times, but I do need to realize it goes with number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now the numbers are very clearly 2 over 50. So I'm going to write 2 over 50. Okay, now I'm going to write an equal sign because I have to have another proportion. Now, so I'm going to read. I'm going to match centimeters. I'm going to look for kilometers, and then I will know where to put it. Okay. Okay, now 2 centimeters is 2 widths of my fingernail. So 2 centimeters is not that wide. But think about 50 kilometers. Kilometers is about a half a mile. So there's no way this could fit on a table. 50 kilometers could not fit on a table. 2 centimeters could. So think of something fitting on a table. It's the model, and this is the actual out in the world, which you would have to drive your car for. Okay, so the distance between various cities on the map are given below. Find the actual distance between the cities. So we're looking for the actual. That means we are looking for K. And they have given us 9. So think of 9 widths of my fingernail. That's how long it is, how far it is on a map. Okay, now Ms. Williams is going to give you a little bit of credit for what you have done before. Okay, I'm going to write this. Your work is going down. You have earned it. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is think of, how do I solve this problem just with the calculator or just with my brain? Okay, what you have to do is cross multiply and then divide. Okay, cross multiply. 9 times 50 is what, and I know it's 450. And when you divide it by 2, what do you get? The answer is 225. Try it on a calculator if you don't believe me, but there it is. Now the last thing I need to do is look over here. What am I looking? What are my units? Kilometers. So I'm going to put km. Okay, this problem is done. So do you see how your work is a lot less? Because again, I feel like you've earned it. Hopefully you've done so many of these, you realize, hang on, I am multiplying, cross multiplying every time and dividing to get my answer. Okay, this is where I need to teach you. 3. First of all, I have 2 over 50. That is, again, the same key. 2 over 50. And but this one is 3 4/5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to equal. I decide where it goes. Centimeters goes on the top, so I'm going to put 3 point. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my calculator or in my brain, and I'm going to say, I'm going to type in the calculator 4 divide 5. So what you get is 0.8. So it's not just 3, it's 3.8. And again, we do this because this is easier to type in and get the answer. Now, what am I looking for? Kilometers. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to you. You cross multiply and then divide and check your answer in the stream. By the way, let me show you what I'm talking about. What are you talking about, Ms. Williams' stream? Okay. Hang on, I don't know if that'll work. Look in the stream, and I already have the answers. The first answer is 225, so I'm going to leave you to do that. So I'm going to write K equals. Okay, you type out 3.8 times 50 divided by 2, and you get the answer yourself. Okay, now over here, 4 divide 5 gave me that 0.8. And that's what I need to stick on the side of the 3. Okay, you have to do this yourself. Okay, 2 over 50 equals 16 point something, and then K on the bottom, and you figure it out, and the answer again is in the stream. Okay, now there are okay, look at this. We have another fraction. So what I'm going to do is, now this is the, let me highlight. This is the scale. Okay, we have a fraction in the scale. So what I'm going to do is make you realize, hopefully, that if you say 3 divide 4, your calculator will come out with 0.75. And the bottom number is already a whole number, so I'm going to put 80. Okay, now the key over here, inches divided by miles. Okay, now equal sign. And the actual distance, oh, actual. That means it's on the bottom. And that makes sense because miles is on the bottom. So 320, I'm gonna let you finish that. You finish that on your own. Now, here is an issue over here. In fact, stop the video and make sure you can work and check number 1 through 5 with no issues. Okay, now stop the video, and now you should be finished if you've started the video back over. Okay, here's an issue, and you need to know that if you divide 2 by 3, the decimal goes on and on and on and on and on. It repeats, and you cannot round. Okay, so let me show you what you need to do. First of all, I have 0.75 over 80. That has not changed. Okay, I'm going to work up here because I want you to use the most efficient thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 5/86 2/3. Okay, I'm going to write a times sign here, and I'm going to write a plus sign here. Now, what I'm doing is something your teachers taught you a long time ago. It's about a 4th, 5th, or 6th grade skill. I don't remember. But watch what I do, and hopefully you remember this. We're going to say 3 times this big whole number, which is going to be huge. One more time, 3 times 586, and then enter, plus 2. And you should come out with 1760. Okay, now I'm going to put a 3 down here. And hopefully you realize, oh, she carried the same denominator over. One more time, 3 times 586 plus 2. What do you call this? Hopefully you're saying improper fraction. So we've taken a mixed number and turned it into an improper fraction, and that's what we're going to use. So this is going to look really strange, but you'll get used to it. Okay, these are the bottom because I have miles here. So I'm going to put 1760 over 3, and that looks really weird. And we are looking for inches. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to put the I. I is my variable. Okay, now I'm going to also put a circle around it. Hopefully this will trigger your brain to realize this needs to go in first of your calculator. So I equals, okay, here's where we start. Type in 1760 divided by 3, and you should get a long repeating decimal, times 0.75, enter, divided by 80. And I have that handy dandy answer that you should get here. It is 5.5. Okay, if you do not get that, you need to stop this and listen to me again, teach you how to type all this in. Okay, so stop the video if you need to and go back over that. Okay, now we're going on. Okay, 1/3. If you type 1/3 in to a calculator, 1 divided by 3, you will get a long repeating decimal, which you cannot use. Okay, so Ms. Williams, what do? I cannot use a repeating decimal. Okay, here's what you have to do. Okay, we know 1/3 goes with 2, so I'm gonna put a 2 here. And my key, I'm gonna say inch over feet. Just make it really small there so I'll know what to put where. Okay, the 1/3 has got to go up there. Since it repeats, you cannot use the decimal. And I'm going to put a circle around it. Again, that's to make your brain realize you got to type it in first. Okay, now what does it equal? Okay, now where does 207 go? It's feet, so I'm going to put it on the bottom, 207. Okay, now how do you type it in? You got to type this in first. Oh, by the way, I need a variable, so I'm going to use an I. 1 divided 3 times 207. Remember, you cross multiply. and then divide by 2, and you should get your answer. So I equals, and I'm going to leave you to write the answer in the unit by yourself. Okay, over here, excuse me. You should not have trouble with this because if you type 1 divide 10, you will get 0.1. So on your calculator, 1 divide 10 is 0.1. So you should translate this to 9.1. And you should have no issues, okay? So let me go down. You should not have an issue there. It divides out to a terminating decimal. I haven't said that word yet. Okay, number 11 and 12 and 13, 14, 15, 16 all have the same direction. I'm sorry. Number 15, 16, 17, 18 have the same directions. Let me just very quickly do number 15 for you, show you how to do it. Let me read the directions. Okay, here are the notes from last Thursday. Okay, now the goal is to make one of these. We're making a scale using those two numbers. So here are the rules and an example. Write the ratio of the model length to the actual length. So model or drawing has to go on top, and the second number, the actual number, has to go on bottom. Okay, now the second rule, simplify the ratio so that the numerator is what? 1. 1. Divide the numerator and the denominator by the numerator. So how do you multiply or divide a number to get 1? Well, you divide it by itself. So I have to divide the top by 9, the bottom by 9. Okay, but you're not finished there. Do you see how you make it into a scale? 1 inches equal 5 feet. So you are not done with just the fraction. You have to actually write the scale. And I have all those in the stream. Now let's go do one of your problems. Okay, here it is. I already have one done. 8 divided by 624. And how do you get 8 to make 1? Okay, you divide it by itself in the bottom. And then you end up with 1 foot equals 78 feet. Okay, I agree. It's feet and feet, but that's just the way it goes. 1 foot I can put on my desk, 78 foot I could not. So I believe this is the model and I believe this is the actual. Okay, now I'm gonna look at this one. 7.5, and I'm almost done, over 5 equals, okay, now I'm leaving some room. Again, how do you make 7.5 multiply or divide to get 1? We have to divide by itself. So divide by 7.5, divide by, this doesn't look right, it's not what we like, and then you get the answer. And then you write the scale. 1 inch, excuse me, yeah, 1 inch equals so many yards. Okay, so the rest are for you, and I'm gonna put this on, well, it'll be on YouTube, so stop sharing.